Chapter 6, Setting Campaign Objectives. The types of campaign objectives are usually business, attitudinal, behavioral, and campaign, and the application of the think, feel, and do method, and establish your SMART goals. Earlier, we established our business goals and what business impact we need to make, and our marketing goals, how marketing will help make that impact. And each of these will get translated into communication goals. The four main categories of communication goals include business goals, which are established by the client and define what the business metrics will define success. Attitudinal goals, which is how consumers think and feel about the brand. Behavioral goals, which is what do we want our consumers to do as a result of our communication. And campaign or media goals, who will we reach? We want to start with our business objectives. The business objectives establish which consumer group we need to address. When it comes to increasing volume, we have to decide whether we will do so by convincing new people to buy our brand or getting the people who are currently buying our brand to buy it more. This is a great impact on our communication goal. If you're trying to bring new people into the franchise, then your media plan will emphasize reach, talking to people who are currently not aware or are aware but don't put you in their consideration set. If you determine that you want to get current buyers to buy more frequently, our communications plan will emphasize frequency and/or continuity so that we're reaching them on a more consistent basis. If our goal is to increase profit, then we need to convince people to pay more for a product. Reducing costs can also increase profits, but communications cannot address that. We then want to place our message in places that communicate quality. That is known as borrowing equity. Know that one impact of the decision is that you will likely pay more for the media. Finally, if share is our objective, then we're targeting people currently in the category who are currently buying other brands to buy ours or buy ours more often. This requires a focus on where the competition is communicating. We can either compete with them in the same places or try to carve out our own space to reach our users. So let's go back to our friends thinking and feeling. Attitudinal goals are all about impacting the cognitive and affective nature of our decision making. The thinking side is a focus on the use of things. What are the functional benefits of our brand? When looking to change how people think about our brand, we'll look to places where the content appeals to one's cognitive nature. The consumer will be more receptive to information-based advertising messages when they're more cognitive or driven mindsets. On the other hand, feelers are more focused on meaning. How does this product relate to me? They're looking for more emotive cues in the messaging. Likewise, we want to advertise in places where they are consuming content in a more emotional way. They'll be more relaxed and less likely to be receptive to a hard-selling message or one that requires too much thought. Think about the attitudinal goals through the consumer decision journey. While the consumer is always balancing cognitive and affective characteristics, there are points along the journey where one is favored over the other. The two combine most closely around the purchase and trial, as that is when the emotional side can take over from the cognitive side. Buy product is always a good do goal, but be mindful of the other activities that take place throughout the CDJ that can bring consumers through the journey. Last but not least are your campaign goals. You are, after all, spending your client's money. You need to be sure that you get what you paid for. Campaign goals include reach and frequency goals, impression goals, and/or cost per action goals, clicks, engagements, and shares. When setting campaign goals, be purposeful and make trade-offs. You can't optimize against competing goals, so be sure to prioritize and make sure you're focusing on the metric that will be most likely to deliver on your business objective. Identifying which objective to set is one thing, but making sure that they are SMART is another. A trap a lot of audience agencies and clients fall into is not being clear on what the objectives are. Remembering to be SMART will ensure that there is not only no miscommunication, but at the end of the campaign there will be metrics to measure success. And we'll look at more of that later on in the semester. So be specific. Say you want 8%. Measurable. Say it's awareness. Attainable. The media can impact awareness. Realistic. 8% is a modest increase. It's doable. Time frame. do it by next Labor Day. Let me know if you have any questions.